So there's a lot of news going around and I have a lot to get to today and I only have a short amount of time, so we're gonna go ahead and get to it. But first, thank you guys for stopping by the video and the channel Nwadei MMA, where I give you my thoughts, but more importantly, as for you guys' thoughts, because you guys are the MMA community. And today we're gonna be talking about Ilia Topuria, his next fight, who it's gonna be against, Islam Makhachev, who his next fight is gonna be against, because there's a lot of chaos at lightweight right now, given the fact that Dustin Poirier is going to be having his last fight and whatnot. Who will that be against? I mean, shit, we don't know. So there's a lot of things we have to get to, but we're also going to be talking about other fights in other divisions that may or may not be happening, like Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, let's get right into it. So Beneil Dariush says that Poirier versus Max Holloway 3 may be in the works. However, I don't think that's right. I don't think that that's going to happen. Why? Because we've been having this whole debacle at lightweight between Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev, and Ilia Topuria. Islam is the champion, obviously, and he wants to fight, but he doesn't want to fight against Ilia Topuria, or so he says. They said they already turned down the fight because apparently Ilia Topuria isn't deserving enough and it won't look good on his resume if he gets a win, and all these little different things that are occurring, right? I think Islam might be scared. However, another reason I think this fight isn't going to happen is because Charles Oliveira is okay with not having a title shot. Now, I thought Charles Oliveira was supposed to be next for the title. I thought that he was going to be fighting Islam. That's what Dana said. He fell out of his fight after getting that cut, and then he had to go and get a win over Michael Chandler, and that was supposed to be next for the title, right? However, he's saying he's open to a BMF title fight because that's the only belt he doesn't have. That's the only accomplishment he doesn't have. And who has the BMF belt? Max Holloway. So, with that being said, I don't see a place where the UFC chooses to have Max Holloway fight a guy who already beat him twice in 2 different weight classes over fighting a guy who Max already beat once at the weight class below, but obviously Charles was cutting too much weight and and here they are years later able to fight for a BMF title. Not only would that give Charles Oliveira a fight other than Islam Makhachev, which opens a little window there for Ilia Topuria, but Max Holloway gets a great first fight at lightweight for his first fight. Now, I know nobody wants to see fight at featherweight again. He said the weight cut was too hard. He's been saying that for years, but this time he really wants to move up. Nobody wants to see him fight someone out of the top 5, right? If we want to see Max Holloway in the lightweight division, we want to see him fight the best guys in the world. And in order to do that, dude, Charles Oliveira is the perfect first fight, right? So where does that leave Islam Makhachev? Well, Islam could then fight Arman Tsarukyan, who isn't getting the next title shot because of him pulling out because of his back, or Ilia Topuria, who he's already declined. This makes for a very interesting debacle, and for some reason people are saying Ilia isn't deserving, and we're going to get to that in a second. But first, the other only fighter he could really fight is Justin Gaethje, because he beat Renato Moicano, who was surgeon. He already beat Poirier. He beat everybody else who is worthy of a title shot right now, including Arman Tsarukyan. Only one he hasn't beaten is Ilia Topuria or Justin Gaethje. Now, would Justin Gaethje be better for Islam Makhachev's legacy than Ilia Topuria? Would he? I mean, he already lost to Khabib. We know that Islam and Khabib have similar ground games. Would he? Now, Khabib did say that was the hardest he ever got hit. We've seen Islam against countless strikers. Why not see him against someone who has a good wrestling background? Why not see him against someone who has a legit black belt in jiu-jitsu, who has nasty hands in Ilia Topuria? I mean, Ilia Topuria already has a win at 155 pounds. Volk had a win before the UFC, or at the beginning of his UFC career, at 155 pounds, and I think people still give him credit for that. Matter of fact, more people give him credit for his second win over Volk than his first win over Volk, and that was on 12 days notice. So this whole thing about him beating featherweights, I mean, the reality of it is that he has fought a lot of featherweights. Renato Moicano was a featherweight. Charles Oliveira was a featherweight at one point in time. Shit, who else has he fought? Fuck it. Dustin Poirier even was a featherweight at one point in time. But if they're choosing to move up to lightweight, they're a lightweight fighter. Especially if they're doing it permanently like Ilia Topuria. He's not planning on going back down. He just beat Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski. If you don't fight him and beat... Matter of fact, this would only help Islam Makhachev's legacy if he did beat him. If he lost to him, okay, maybe there's questions, but do you plan on losing? Is that the reason why you're not taking the fight? Just let me know. Let me know in the comments what you think Islam's whole mindset is about this, because I don't understand why people are saying, oh, this champion who just beat two of the greatest champions in his weight class, if he wants to move up, he should fight a contender. I think these people are just salty. I think these people hate Ilia for whatever reason. The same way people were hating on Conor McGregor. Although I kind of like Ilia better than Conor McGregor. He's a God-fearing man who really just speaks greatness. He speaks greatness. Yeah, he's confident. Who cares, bro? He's fighting for world championships, for buttloads of money, and he's beating people's brains, and he's doing it in the nicest way possible. He says what's gonna happen, he does it, and then he apologizes afterwards. What more do you want from Ilia Topuria? Now, I've been saying he's gonna be champion for a while. Nobody wanted to listen to me, but here we are now with this whole situation. So I think Ilia is gonna be next for Islam Makhachev. I think Dana's gonna throw him just a buttload of money. I think Charles Oliveira is going to take the Max Holloway fight. I think Gaethje and Poirier. Gaethje doesn't really want to fight Poirier again. He said that they shouldn't fight again. I don't know. I guess they're friends, or maybe he just doesn't want another fucking car wreck of a fight. But as far as Gaethje could fight Armis Aryukin. Poirier might be the odd man out, but I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Dan Hooker again. I think we all wouldn't mind seeing that in Louisiana, right? So that's how I'm kind of seeing this situation go down. That's how I would like to see it go down. But let me know what you guys think, because I think Islam Makhachev versus Topuria is actually something that can happen. Unlike Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Jon Jones saying he needs 6 months on top of the 4 months already that he's taken to prepare for Tom Aspinall. First he wants fuck you money, now he wants 6 months. He doesn't want to fight, man. He doesn't want to fight. He wants to retire or fight or vacate his belt to fight Alex Pereira, who isn't even a champion anymore. Guys, is Jon Jones your GOAT still? Like, I understand everything he's accomplished and whatnot. I mean, we can go into context or we can go into accolades. If you go into accolades, he's your GOAT. If you go into context, there's a lot of room for argument, right? There's the PEDs, there's the who he fought, when he fought them. A lot of the champions and stuff he fought were on their way out. Yeah, he fought an interim champion in Cyril Gane, who's still a great win in my book. And then fighting old ass Stipe, like nobody, you know? There's a lot of contests possibly losing to Thiago Santos and Dominic Reyes, you know? There's a lot of shit that, you know, you'll be like, I think GSP's greater, or I think Demetrius Johnson is greater, or I think Khabib is greater, although he didn't do it for a long enough time. So there's a whole situation. I think Islam versus Topuria is more likely than Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. No, regardless of what Dana says, because Jon is negotiating himself out of this fight. There's 2 ways you could decline a fight. You can either say no, or you can ask for an obscene amount of money and regulations for the fight. He's scared. Let me know what you think. Alex Pereira, was he fraud checked? You know, I'm gonna keep this one short. No, this is the style we thought would beat him in Magomed Ankalaev. Fucking look, this guy, he defended all of Magomed Ankalaev's takedowns. Even if Ankalaev wasn't actually trying to take him down, like I said in my previous video, he defended all of them. So we know that he has the ability to defend takedowns very well. He has a long frame, which makes it hard to take him down in the first place. How is he on the ground? I don't know. We have yet to really find out against Magomed Ankalaev. I think if Ankalaev could have gotten him down, he probably could have finished him, but he beat him for 5 rounds, right? So Pereira didn't get fraud checked. He got style checked. This is what happens when a long-time striker who has some grappling goes against a long-time grappler who's been mixing the two for years. I mean, let's not forget Combat Sambo is MMA with a gi. Like, there's levels to MMA, right? But they're working on the media rematch. Ankalaev already said he has a date. And, you know, I'm sitting here thinking that, well, it's the rematch between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. And he's saying he's going to finish him this time around. He's saying he doesn't get paid for the hour, so it will be no 5-round fight. Very interesting. I wonder when they're going to do it. Might be International Fight Week, since that's coming up in, July or whatever. Charles Oliveira is also trying to get on that July card, or International Fight Week card, which could be against Max Holloway. So I think we're gonna have a fun, very fun International Fight Week. Yeah, what else were we gonna talk about? Yes, that's right. So if you guys, I know you guys love the UFC and that's why you clicked on this video. However, if you consider yourself a casual MMA fan, and you really only like the striking portion of it, I think you should tune in this weekend to One Championship's card. I think it's One Championship 171 or 172. Look, their pay-per-view is $40, but I'm sure you could find a stream, right? Allegedly, 5 world title fights. I think all of them are kickboxing. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna look this up for you guys. So they have 5 world title fights. All of these are world title fights. There's kickboxing. There's an interim strawweight kickboxing. They have Demetrius Johnson's vacant belt at flyweight is now being fought for by the one who beat him and lost twice, Adriano Moraes, versus Yu Wakamatsu, another one of Demetrius's previous opponents. That's gonna be a great fight. If you want to see some good like grappling and MMA exchanges, you can tune in for that. But like I said, kickboxing, MMA is on it for a world championship. And then we have the strikers. I mean, like, we're getting Superlek, the best striker in the world, versus Nabil Anan, who just had an outstanding performance against Nico Carrillo. I mean, I don't think anybody expected him to do that to Nico Carrillo, who defeated the legendary Nongo. Like, when I say legendary, over 300 Muay Thai wins. Lupini Stadium champion. You could look up what that is. Lupini Stadium is kind of like the Madison Square Garden of the other side of the world, right? So the Anan just beat him. If you watch anime, he portrays himself as Luffy. So him versus Superlek for the rematch, because Superlek beat him last time. He just destroyed his legs with leg kicks and then was able to end up finishing him. That's going to be a super good fight, man. I think Nabil Anan has really improved. He's gained a lot of confidence. It's one of those things where he fought Superlek the first time, and then since he got that experience, he's been so much better afterwards. There's fighters go through that one fight to where it's like they're a completely different fighter afterwards, and I think that was his fight. Tawanchai is also fighting against Masaki Nori. Tawanchai, I know you know about this guy, the dude who kicks through blocks. He breaks people's kneecaps when they try and check his kick. He breaks people's arms when they try and block his kick. If he was on this side of the world, people would think he's on steroids. He could kick through a brick wall, man, and he just had a beautiful performance over Superbon to where he knocked him out unconscious. Superbon used to be known as one of the best, or the best kickboxer on planet Earth, and he knocked him out. So Tawanchai, he's obviously the #1 featherweight kickboxer in the world right now, or a Muay Thai fighter in the world, and he's looking to get that featherweight kickboxing belt as well. But this is an interim fight. And then we have Rodtang versus Takeru. Now, this isn't for a title, but everyone knows who Rodtang is, right? I'm gonna walk forward, I'm gonna fuck you up, right? We know Rodtang. And then we don't know Takeru. A lot of people don't know Takeru. Takeru's one of the best Japanese kickboxers in the world, probably the best. I think he was ranked top 3 pound for pound before he lost to Superlek, because Superlek, of course, is the best in the world. But Takeru is a nasty fighter. He thought he was gonna have to retire after that Superlek fight because his leg got beat up so bad. I mean, it was all purple. He thought he was gonna have to retire. He didn't end up having to retire. He ended up coming back. He got a good win, and now he's fighting Rodtang, which is why he even came to One Championship in the first place. One Championship is the place that signs people to have world title fights. That's why their rankings don't go super deep. You don't see number 15 going against number 3 and shit like that. You see top 5, and then you see the champions fighting each other. That's how One Championship kind of runs their promotion. But Rodtang versus Takeru, deservingly so, is the main event. I wouldn't be surprised if they put Superlek and Nabil Anan, but I think Rodtang's just such a big star that you gotta put him as the main event. Anyways, great fights on that One Championship card. Tune in for my reaction on it. And with that being said, thank you guys for tuning into the video. Let me know what you guys think about Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. What do you think that lightweight division plays out? And, I'll be looking forward to see if you guys watch One Championship 172 or not. The choice is yours. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.